Hey everyone, it's Amber, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the many books that I need to read this fall season. In the fall, obviously, I will be back at school. I'm filming this before I go back, but I will be back as of the end of August. So I have a good amount of books, but I also do know that I won't be able to read a ton in the fall just because I'm going to be getting used to the new semester and everything like that. It takes a little while to kind of get into a routine, so I just want to put a good amount on here, but I might not necessarily finish all of these books. Also, I have books on hold at my library, so I might end up reading books from there. Let's just get straight into this little list. So the first book that I have on my list is one that I actually have taken out from my library right now, and that is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. Basically, this follows these girls that live on this island, and it's kind of described like Lord of the Flies in a way, but there's also this twist where there's these like diseases, I guess, caused by I think radiation, but I'm not sure. Like there's this outbreak and the island is quarantined, and these girls kind of have to navigate this whole situation, and they have like weird like flowers growing out of them and things like that. And I also do know that there is representation in this book for the LGBTQ plus community, so that's really exciting. But this is just something that I really do want to read, and it just sounds so good. For some reason, one of my buzzwords is like island. I don't know why. I just really like books that are set on islands, and I've never read one, but I just like the idea of it, if you get what I mean, I guess. But this is one that I really am interested in. It kind of reminds me of The 100 with those like deer with the two heads, if you guys remember that part in like the first episode. That's the vibes that I get from this, but I'm really excited to get into this book. I'm not sure if it's going to be a series, but we'll see. But this is one that I'm definitely excited about, and I feel like it has summer into fall vibes because it is set on an island, but it also has like a creepy aspect to it that kind of draws you into the fall season, so it's a good like bridge period book. The next one on my list is a very popular book that I'm sure a lot of you guys will be excited about me wanting to read, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Basically, this is a super popular series. It's a duology, and it's set in the world of the Grisha trilogy. It follows 6 different characters, and they're basically on a heist, and that's honestly all that I know. It's a fantasy book, obviously, but it just seems really good. I've heard that the characters are the best part of this book, and in the fall I honestly really enjoy character-driven stories and like gripping, exciting characters. I don't know why, and also like paranormal romance. I am just really looking forward to reading this book. I've heard a lot of people obviously love it, so I want to be one of those people. I just want to love it like everyone else. This also is kind of a long-ish book, so I don't know how successful I am going to be in reading this in the fall. I feel like my best bet is to read a lot of really short books because it'll make me feel accomplished and everything. But we'll see. I put this on my list for now. It might end up being a Christmas break book, but nevertheless, I do have a goal to maybe read this in the fall, but we'll see. The next one that I have is a sequel, and that is The Vanishing Star by Maureen Johnson. This is the second book to Truly Devious, which follows a girl named Stevie that goes to this boarding school in Vermont for kids that have special interests and abilities. And basically her interest is that she is very into solving murder mysteries, and she's really good at it. And there was a kidnapping slash alleged murder that happened to the school in the 30s, and it kind of bounces back and forth between the 30s and present day, and Stevie is set on figuring out what happened in that murder slash kidnapping in the 1930s to the owner of the school's wife and daughter. So she is set on figuring that out, and in this book we continue on the journey of trying to figure that out. The mystery spans over all of the books. I believe there's going to be 3, and the third one comes out in the winter, so I definitely want to read this in the fall when the other one's still fresh in my mind, and it will bridge the gap for waiting for when the next book comes out in January, I believe. So I'm so excited to read this and continue. I feel like mystery is a perfect genre for the fall just because it's like spooky and atmospheric and like set at a boarding school. Like I just feel like this series is very perfect for the fall season. So I'm really excited to get into this book in the fall. The next book that I want to read is another sequel that comes out at the very end of the fall, and maybe I'll read it in the fall, but maybe I'll end up reading it in the winter, and that is The Toll by Neal Shusterman. This is the third and final book in the Scythe trilogy, and I'm so excited but also really sad that it's ending. But basically this series follows these two characters, Citra and Rowan, and they are apprentices to a scythe, becoming scythes of their own. And in this world they basically eradicated death, and in order to keep the population under control they've decided that scythes are the best way to do it. So they have people that are selected to basically glean / kill people, but there's a very kind of corrupt political intrigue in this book, and there's a lot of philosophical discussion as well. So I just really enjoy this series. I just think it's really fantastic. It makes you think. It's one of those books that really does make you think, and I love that about it. So the third book is coming out, and I'm so excited to see what happens in this trilogy. I didn't expect to like it as much as I do, but I love it, and I'm so excited for this book. The next one that I have is A Darker Shade of Magic by Victoria Schwab. This one I've heard many things about. I really do need to read this series. My sister has read the first one and she really liked it, and I feel like it's good for the fall because it seems very atmospheric and magical. It just seems like it's like a book that will take you out of the stresses of school. I am excited to read this. I think that it's going to be super good, a quick read. I just have very high expectations, but basically this follows a guy named Kel, and he has this coat, I guess, that allows him to travel between different dimensions of London, and they all have different kind of levels of magic and different magic systems and rulers and things like that. So he is able to communicate and travel between all of the different dimensions of London, which is so cool, and I'm just so excited to read this. I just think it sounds so good, and I've heard so many people love it. Seeing the fan art, the love for this series is just so much, and I just really want to read it. So this is one that I'm super excited about to read in the fall. The next one that I have is Furyborn by Claire Legrand. So this one is basically about these two queens that live 1,000 years apart. Their stories kind of intersect, and they both kind of go through similar things. And it just sounds so good. I've heard great things about this. I just really want to read this series. I just think it's going to be so good, and it just sounds like a really fun, amazing fall read, and this I really want to read soon because I'm really excited about it. But I need fantasy all the time, and this definitely will fill my need of a beautiful, amazing fantasy series. The last and final book that I officially have on this list is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. So this basically follows our main character, Mara Dyer, and we don't even know if this is her real name, and she's a super unreliable narrator, and we kind of are figuring out what happens along with her. I really don't know too much about this, but I honestly think that's better going into it like that, so I kind of discover it with the main character. But I've heard so many people love this. I know Katie over at Kate's Book Date, this is one of her favorites, and I trust her and her recommendations, so I really do want to pick this up and be caught up on the booktube trend of liking this book forever ago. That was like the 2014 trend of liking this book, but now I am just very behind and I need to just read this book, and I'm so excited. But this is definitely going to be a fun fall read because it's spooky, it's atmospheric, we have an unreliable narrator that we're not sure about, I feel like it's going to be addicting, there's a romance in it, so it just has everything, and I just feel like I'm going to like it. So those are all of the books that I have for my official fall TBR, but obviously I'm going to read other books and maybe not finish all of these, but hopefully I'll finish all of those books, and in addition to that read more books. Is that too hopeful? Who knows? But anyway, I hope that you guys all enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you guys' fall TBR is down below because I would love to know. But also make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also please subscribe down below if you want to see more of my videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!
Words that I say, downtown the lights out, but we choose to stay. I don't know where this may go. These strangers know all